Trump has offered to pay the victim's medical bills, and he feels strongly about her attackers.
Yes, I do want to hate her assailants. They mugged, raped, and threw a woman off a roof. I want to hate her assailants. Yes, I do. If that's okay. I mean, perhaps you don't want to hate them. Perhaps you want to love her assailants. I want to hate her assailants.
Quintessential Trump.
And I guess that's my privilege.
Is April 19th. While many may remember and even celebrate the Central Park Five, they ignore the actual history of this same night in 1989. It wasn't just one incident with one victim. It was a wilding spree where a mob of dozens brutally beat and robbed at least 7 people. It's eerily similar to the lawlessness we're seeing recently with these teen takeovers in Chicago and DC and elsewhere. You have mobs swarming in the streets and destroying property while the system gives the bad actors slaps on the wrist. That's if they do anything at all. Now, they always point to Donald Trump's 1989 ad calling for the death penalty as if it were proof that he's a racist who wanted black and Hispanic blood. But that narrative falls apart when you look at Brooklyn. You see, what you might not know is that just 2 weeks and a day after the Central Park wilding spree, a black woman was raped in her building. Trump didn't take out an ad this time. He actually showed up. He went to her house and offered to pay her hospital bills personally.
I don't know what crime and fighting crime has to do with racism. I'm very much in favor of the death penalty. Many people are in favor of the death penalty. White, black, Asian, it makes no difference.
Trump had just visited a Brooklyn woman recovering from a horrible attack. She was raped by 3 men and then thrown into this 4-story shaft. Miraculously, she survived. 2 suspects are in custody. A 3rd is being sought. Trump has offered to pay the victim's medical bills, and he feels strongly about her attackers.
Yes, I do want to hate her assailants. They mugged, raped, and threw a woman off a roof. I want to hate her assailants. Yes, I do. If that's okay. I mean, perhaps you don't want to hate them. Perhaps you want to love her assailants. I want to hate her assailants.
Quintessential Trump.
And I guess that's my privilege.
Tonight, the rape victim is in critical condition, but she is able to respond to questions.
Now, if he were the racist that they claim, why was he financing the recovery of a black victim while the national news ignored her? The truth is, he wasn't anti-black. He wasn't anti-Hispanic. He was anti-criminal. He wanted protection for the victims that some of these politicians today are happy to sacrifice for the sake of the race narrative. History is repeating itself in our streets today because we refuse to learn the lesson of 1989. Now you've seen this clip. This is the side of the story they won't show you on Netflix. So next time you think it's all about race, perhaps you might want to consider culture.
Wow. He's been the same. And how many of you all in the chat, how many of you, this was your first time hearing this story, but how many of us have heard that he's a racist, that he was giving out, he wouldn't sell rent to black folks. I mean, the list goes on. We don't hear this story. Folks, please share this broadcast. Share it. We're going to clip this out tonight, and we want this to get out.
Absolutely.
This is the 39th anniversary of this, and we're seeing it happen again.
Oh, wilding, also known as nigger culture. That's what it is. Nigger culture. I mean, let's just call it what it is. That's what it is. And we want to put all these fancy words on. It's nigger culture. And again, I was just put a disclaimer for YouTube. Okay, nigger does not mean just black people or dark-skinned people or black and brown people. It means anybody who is hell-bent on destroying, who's turn up everybody else's shit. They're making the city, the community, a difficult place to just live and thrive and grow, raise your family, patronize the businesses, whatever. That's what it does. That's what it is. Nigger culture. That's what it is.
That, this is how the Clintons got to the term super predator. Do you guys remember that? This super predator term caused Hillary an election, plus some other stuff. But that super predator term, because people were fed up with crime. And it wasn't just New Yorkers who were fed up with crime. People all over the country had enough of the lawlessness. And that's how we got over that hump. What I was saying earlier to LaToya, we've not yet been saturated. When you take a look at what was happening in the late 80s and the early 90s, when you take a look at it, it was like 30 kids, maybe 5, 6, 10 kids. We now have hundreds of kids doing this. And the reason why they do it is because they have no fear of repercussions. None. There is no fear of repercussions. When they beat up Big Balls downtown DC, dragged him through the streets, stomped on him, and he made sure his girlfriend was protected. But they beat the crap out of that car, the car that was in front of it. They were trying to break into the store. They beat him relentlessly. And what happened? Slap on the wrist. Slap on the wrist. And as long as we continue to let people take full advantage of us, they will. I don't want us to go back to the super predator days. There's got to be a happy middle ground, but we have got to do something because it's getting easier and easier to be lawless. And again, for children, that group think is incredibly seductive. Incredibly seductive. And your honor roll student may be downtown DC with their friends, and their friends run into a CVS or a Target or a Lululemon. And before you know it, your child's a felon. Your child is a felon. So we definitely need parents to step up. We need the rules of engagement for police to be a little bit different. Shining the flashlight at them is not going to stop it. These kids are not afraid of light. That's not what they fear. You know, the schools have to do better and the community has to do better. It's not enough to say, oh, well, you know, they have insurance. The store can get their money back. They got insurance. We can't continue at this pace. It's making everything more expensive. Shops are closing. You won't have anywhere to shop. We have to solve this problem, and kicking the can just won't work.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, folks, Black folks need to call out the niggas. All right? Simple as what Shelly said.
Mm-hmm.
Stop blaming everybody else. Okay? It's time for Black folks to take charge of our own community.
Mm-hmm.
Stop blaming everyone else. Stop begging everybody and start taking control of our own community. This is what it is. This is what it is. Otherwise, we're not going anywhere. It's not going to work if everybody else does it. We got to do it. And if it means calling out the niggas, call out the niggas.
Niggas.
There it is.
Listen, no lies told. Not one lie has been told. And you see it all over the internet. People say they got Black fatigue, they got ghetto fatigue, they got all kind of fatigue. What they have is nigga fatigue. That's what they have. But nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to be, oh, she dropped the N-word. Was it a hard R? Let me tell you something. When the nigga's behind you about to bash you in the head to steal your handbag, you're not thinking, well, maybe I should call him an African American. Maybe that's how I should describe him to the police when I come back from my coma because he pushed you down a flight of concrete steps. We have got to get real serious. And in our own community, you have to take responsibility for your behavior. Whether you're right or wrong, and you know your child was downtown and they suddenly come home with a brand new jacket or some brand new clothes that you did not buy. Parents need to step up. You need to step up. If your kid is gone and you know they have a curfew, where is your child? Remember that commercial is 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? It's crazy to me that parents are actually against curfews. It's like they don't want to be home with their own.
They don't want to be home with their own spawn. They don't want to be home with their
afraid too. They're probably
I don't understand it. You made these people. These are your folks. These are your folks. Come get y'all people. Because what's going to happen is some shop owner is going to have enough. And there's going to be some dead teenagers on the street. And then everybody wants to wear a t-shirt and light a candle and cry some tears. But the reality is shop owners have the right to defend themselves and their property. And their property. Something's going to happen and it's going to set the world off and it's going to be a shame. But before that, make sure it's not your child. Find your kid and bring them home. Parent them. It's not going to hurt.
Exactly.
It really isn't.